can see the hate, I can see the lies. See it in your face, read it out your eyes. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. They want it, while I get it. They losing while I'm winning. It's the rules of the game you playing. In your eyes, I can see you hating. Why they watching me? They got their.
Yo, Claudio, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Filipe, how are you?
I'm okay, buddy.
Good. Right. So obviously today we've got Claudio on. I want to start off kind of speaking about you changing outlooks.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a good thing, especially now with what's going on, obviously being in lockdown and stuff. So sort of tell everyone and us guys like what that's all about and what is it you do with it.
So Changing Outlooks is a motivational company who specialize in empowering our generation, and it can be through speeches, motivational workshops, assemblies, or mentoring. I've done a lot of things like in the past year or two, based mainly in schools, working with like younger age groups. I'll say probably from year 3 to year 11/6th form. So working with like children like a little bit younger than me, and we've obviously worked with a few adults as well, such as like coming into the gym with you guys, working with like staff members in different schools, and like football teams. So yeah, like it's basically, a lot of people ask me the question like, what is Changing Outlooks? But it's basically just a motivational company who help people like better themselves and try like achieve their dreams. And we're very, very like strict on like mental health. So we're really like into our mental health, because that's like a big issue at the moment in the world. So yeah.
So, Claudio, why are you so passionate about mental health?
I'm very passionate about mental health because of what happened to my best friend, one of my close friends, about 3-4 years ago. He committed suicide, and obviously when that happened, I wasn't in a good place. My head wasn't in the right place. Like my mental health wasn't good, and at the time I thought to myself, what can I do to not like stop it from happening, because there's always going to be things that happen, but how can I prevent it from happening to other people around me or like people in my community? So I thought to myself, just create like a motivational page to stop that. And at the time when I was doing it, it was obviously difficult because I was still like going through the situation of my friend passing away. So it's almost like I'm doing this and like I'm still grieving almost. But it got to a stage where like that page actually helps me as well. Even though I was doing it for other people, it helps me. It helps me realize that, listen, things do happen in life, and sometimes you've got to understand that everything happens for a reason. So when I did that page, I started like getting a lot of followers. Like it was really weird. I didn't think it'd be as big as it would be now. I started getting a lot of followers, a lot of messages from other people who are struggling with like the same thing, or like struggling with their mental health. And like spoke to a few people, like, and we were obviously helping each other out, like how we can kind of go around the situation and stuff like that. And it really helps me. And that's probably the main thing why mental health is so important to me, because I lost someone because of it.
And
so yeah.
How old was he?
Kim was probably 18, 19 when he committed suicide. So I'm 22 now, so that was a couple of years ago. And it was just like, it makes you think, even if you're so close to someone, you don't always know.
And you didn't see any red flags or anything, did you?
Nothing at all. The thing was like, because we've been so close, it was almost like I saw past anything that was going wrong. Like he'd always be happy and he'd never show his like true emotion. So that was hard. I mean, if I'm always happy, let's say for example, I'm always happy and you guys always see me smiling, having fun, you're never ever going to think that there's something wrong with me. Like even if you would have a deep chat, he'd brush it off. He'd be like, "No, I'm all good. Everything's okay." And I think that's what the scary thing is about mental health. People have this like persona, or they give off that they're all right and everything's okay, but deep down, are they? And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but how do you know if someone's not okay? How do you know if someone's not? It's not the fact that you need to know that they're not, but it's good to always be there for someone, for that person to know that they've got someone if they do fall into like hard times.
Yeah.
There's a big thing, like obviously I know girls, they speak about stuff a lot more in depth than like guys. Do you think it's you know, a lot to do with men and guys struggling to open up to their other.
Yeah, definitely. There's this like massive thing, especially in like UK, where people are like, oh, men need to be manly, or they need to not have that emotion that they have like brought out. It's almost like they're not allowed to say how they're feeling because they have to be like men. And I think at the end of the day, whether you're male or female, you still have emotions. So why is it that one person should be able to speak out and the other person shouldn't? And when there's a barrier like that there, people always go off what social media says or what the society says. So they do keep things in their hearts, or they do keep things in their heads. You know what I mean? So it's not a healthy thing to do that.
Yeah, true. And Claudio, so now are you still completely dedicated to this changing outlooks, or I know you've changed you're really busy now, but how big is it still in your life?
Oh, it's massive. It helps me every single day. Obviously, a lot of people, like you just said, ask me, do I still like have it as like my main priority and stuff? And I definitely do. Even though I do play football full time now, and it is obviously harder to manage it and stuff, I still do always give it time. Like for example, I think 2 weeks ago I did a speech in a school where I'm living now, so that was good. And I've got another booking soon after lockdown with another school. So like I'm always trying to do something no matter where I am. And even though like it is difficult sometimes to do certain things because I am playing football, I always try and always interact with people on like the social media platform. I always try and like do things where people are still feel involved, because I don't want this to get to the point where people are, oh, he's playing football now, he's just leaving, changing the side. Yeah.
Is it just you that does it, or have you got like a little team together? How do you run it?
I have got a little team together, but when it comes to like, so for example, when it comes to food banks, I've got a team together because we do a lot of stuff with like homeless people. So when I do like food banks and stuff like that, I have like 3-4 people that help me out. But when it's like speeches in schools, it's usually me that goes and does those, because I feel as if like, because like I'm almost like the face of the brand and I kind of created it. When schools are booking, they want me to come in to talk. So if I was just to send someone like random in, they'd be a bit like, hold on, we wanted you to come in. But like obviously long term and longer down the line, I want it to be where like I can have people go into different like places and regions and stuff. That'd be really good. But yeah, there's a little team.
Good, man. It's good to see that you as a young man, and you have a big personality, and you seem like to be a secure man and everything, and you go in places. Seeing someone so open to talk about these things, and because for example, if it would come from someone that wasn't this secure and doing that well in life, people would just probably brush it off so much. But it's like you said, I think this is getting really big because of your personality, because you are someone that a lot of people look up to. And I've told you in the past that you're amazing. You're an amazing. You are a man already, but I think you're even going to be even better in a few years. And I hope you keep doing that.
Appreciate that, man.
So, and just one thing, clothing line is associated with the changing outlooks.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a stop and start with the clothing line, to be fair. Obviously, Liam's got a t-shirt on, but when I first did it, I wanted to see if people like, almost liked like the merchandise I was bringing out. So when I started it, I gave like loads out for free. It wasn't even a thing where I was trying to make money off it or profit. I just wanted to see if people generally liked it. So I was giving a few out for free and stuff, and then we sold a few. But like the main purpose of like the clothing line was really just to see if people actually liked it, and it was to get like the message across and to get the brand across as well, so people knew what changing outlooks was. But like obviously now, like I actually do get bookings and I get emails from people, etc. I think I will get to a point where there is merchandise where you can go onto like a website and order like a jumper. The other week I was thinking of an idea where like we get t-shirts and it's got like quotes on it, or people are able to get like a Changing Outlooks t-shirt and then they put like their own like quote on the back of it, a quote that they like, something like that. So that's like down the line. That's a lot of stuff that I'd love to do.
It's a good talking point, isn't it? Like if you know, like if I've got your t-shirt on in the gym when I'm training or something, and someone goes, they've not seen it and they don't know what it is, and they go, oh, what's changing out?
Exactly.
The motivational page.
Mhm.
You think if everyone that you've given a t-shirt to, or even buys a t-shirt, that you might have, I don't know, 15, 20 people with t-shirts, and 3 people reach out, and one of them might be someone that you've really, really benefited just from the fact someone's worn a t-shirt. So
Exactly.
that's the idea, and it will definitely.
What you said is true. Like, especially in our generation, everyone always goes off things that they see nowadays. So like if someone sees something that they like or catches their eye, it's more beneficial to them. That they'll look at it and be like, I like that. Then they'll pass it on to the next person. The next person will probably like it. And then it's just like a domino effect, isn't it? So yeah.
Where do you see changing outlooks going in the next 5 years, or would you want it to be exactly?
In the next 5 years, I'd love it to be a company where it's established in different places in England, and I'd say in the world as well. And when I say in England, I'd love it to be where like it's in different schools, where like it's actually like kind of like a curriculum thing in a school, so people know, okay, changing outlooks is this in a school. For example, on your timetable, children would know, okay, we've got changing outlooks today, so it's almost like a subject. And I'd love that to be in the schools. To say, obviously, I mentioned for it to be in different countries. I'd love to do like charity work and going into like countries who aren't as fortunate as us and being able to help them. But that being like a thing where like I could send like people, let's say part of the team, to do that. So there's certain people who are traveling, and then obviously in the UK, we're still in the schools motivating people, going into businesses or organizations. Yeah, I just want it to be like a company just where it just helps in every way we can, really.
It's really good, man. So, Claudio, you mentioned that you do give a lot of speeches. Were you always, for example, for someone to do a speech, and anyone that can relate to, like when you go in front of your own class or you need to do a speech for your team, a lot of people start shaking, and you are just wanting to be doing this. Were you always this confident, or this is something that you trained and you try to develop it?
Do you know what it is? Like when I first did a speech, my first ever speech was a speech on mental health. And when I did that speech, people were like, wow, you were so confident, you were so this. But like deep down, I was nervous. But I think like because of the, like I said about my best friend, and because of what like the actual whole thing about changing outlooks is about mental health and my friend dying, commit suicide, etc. It's almost like when I am standing on stage, it's not almost just a talk. I'm passionate about it. It's like something that I love. So I always think to myself, if you're passionate about something and you fully love the thing that you're about to talk about or do, you'll always give off this like energy where like people just see it as confidence. Like I was talking and people were like, wow, how many years have you been doing this for? And I was like, this is my first ever speech. And this is the first time I've ever done this. But because it's something you care about and it's not something that you're just making up or you're faking it, it's almost like you give your heart and soul into it. So like, no, but there's been occasions where like, let's say the topic isn't on mental health and I'm nervous because I'm like, wow, this is even new for me. This is a new topic I've got to learn about it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I did a speech once in the school and it was about Walt Disney. I always tell people this. It was about Walt Disney and I was like, how am I going to relate this to myself? Like, how am I going to relate Disney to myself? And obviously that was a tough one because I was going in thinking like I'm not really like sure on this, so I've got to try my hardest to like research and know all the facts, etc. But when it's something like to do with you and yourself, it's so much easier. You don't feel as nervous.
True. Yeah. And do you see, for example, as you know, like a football career is short, and do you see yourself in the future being more attached to the football as a coach, or do you see just focusing on changing outlooks?
I think I'd like to be involved in football some way, but I think my whole like mind and heart would be into changing outlooks, if I'm honest. And that'd be the main thing that I'd be concentrating on, definitely. I just feel like it's something where like I didn't expect it to come into my life. Like, I always wanted to be a footballer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, always wanted to be a footballer. And then, obviously, that incident happened to my friend. And then it's almost like it just came into my life. And now it's like, it'd be weird if it wasn't in my life. Like, so yeah, definitely after football, I definitely want to focus on that a lot more.
So obviously, like, with your football stuff, what is it you're actually doing now? Like, who are you playing for?
So at the moment, I'm at Hartlepool United. So I got moved to Hartlepool. I think during lockdown. It was weird. It was a weird period, but I got moved to Hartlepool during lockdown, and it's almost like I've been full time before when I was at Stevenage. So I'm a bit used to it, but like at the start, it was just weird because I was working for like a year and a half before I came out of full time football, and I wasn't expecting to go straight back into it that quick. Like after a year, I thought it'd probably take me like 2 or 3 years, but like, I did really well at my previous club. Sorry, then I got moved to Hartlepool, and now every day we train. So Monday, Tuesday we train, Wednesday we have a day off, Thursday, Friday we train, and then obviously we got a game on a Saturday and then Sunday off. So yeah, it's good that I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
So how did that come about then? Like, do you have an agent or did you have to trials? How did that start?
Yeah, I've got an agent. So obviously started football when I was really young. Started with you, remember, Power League, and then playing at Power League, and then went to St. Neots with you as well. And then I think when they got to St. Neots was when I was like, yeah, like I want to be a footballer. Because football was more serious then. It wasn't like just Sunday league. It was like we're training properly, like facilities, proper coaches and stuff like that. And obviously when you're young, like you watch the Premier League and you watch Championship and stuff, and you're like, oh, like I'd love to be there, just playing. So it got to that age, I was probably say like when we were around 14, 15, 16, that's when I was like, yeah, I want to be a footballer. And then I was really blessed. When I was like 17, I made my debut at St. Neots, I think 17 or 18. I think one of the attackers got injured or something, and then I had to play. Yeah. And then I made my debut, and like, I think it was the day after my birthday or my birthday, I can't remember. I made my debut, and then after that, everything just shot up. Like, I started playing more. They saw that I was all right, or decent probably. Started playing more, and then got an interest from Stevenage, and I went on trial at Stevenage. And I remember when I went on trial, I didn't get in the first time. They were like, oh, we don't think you're ready yet. So I came back to St. Neots, still playing. And then I think I went on trial again, and then they gave me a contract in the end. And then after Stevenage, done 3 years there. Then I got released. And when I got released, I went back to St. Neots. Then I went to went to Biggleswade, Kings Langley, then Royston, which was last season. But I went to all those clubs in like a year and a half. And then I went to Royston, which was last season. I did really well. Then I got to move back up again. So yeah, it's football's a weird game, man.
It is. It's like, it's only 11 play. You can be pushed off just because a coach doesn't think you fit in a team. But then you can reveal, and you see this every with every coach and good coaches. For example, the other day I've seen an example that Mourinho had De Bruyne, Lukaku, and Hazard in Chelsea, and he only kept Hazard. When you see Lukaku and De Bruyne now, it's like they're monsters.
I know. And look, one manager's opinion can't change you or who you are. You have to keep going. And this is what I always try to say to people. People are like, yeah, but if I don't play here or if I don't do well here, that means my career's over. It's not that at all. When I was at Stevenage, I done well. I didn't get a contract in the end. I didn't fit in their plans. And then I went to another non-league club like Royston, done really well there. And then now I'm here and I'm doing well now. Like, you can't think that one person's opinion defines you, because it doesn't. You're your own person.
Yeah, and you have so many examples of this in various sports. There's a story, for example, Michael Jordan, that he didn't make the school team and he became the legendary player. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So what frustrates you more in football?
What doesn't? I'm joking. I'm joking. What frustrates me in football? What are you saying? Like, what? Like, what's the biggest thing that frustrates me?
Yeah, biggest thing. Any example?
I'd just say, I know this is probably cliche and everyone says this, but losing. I hate, like, I know everyone says I hate losing, but like I hate everything about losing, because when you lose, it's more than just you've lost the game. It's like it's almost like when you've lost the game, you then think about it. And when you think about it, you take it into the next day. And when you take it into the next day, you think about it the next day. And then by the time you thought about it the whole weekend, you're back in training. But then that's when you've got to switch on again and go again. And the thing with losing is especially when you're doing well and your team's winning and then you lose, it's bad because you've been in that momentum and that rhythm.
Yeah.
And then once you lose, it's almost like you've stopped it and now you've got to get it back again. But yeah, I hate losing. Like, I do everything to try and not lose. I hate it.
Remember when we were at St. Neots and we're in that cup final and we bottled it on pens and we all into the changing room. We've just been given our second place trophy and we were fucking throwing it about, smashing it up the walls in the change rooms, going crazy because we shouldn't have lost, but we lost because we just played crap. And we were frustrated with each other. And it's we've had games where we've lost and we've gone, there's nothing we could have really done. You know, someone got sent off, blah blah blah. But then that game, I remember that game to this day, like the anger that we had in just that 90 minutes at the end of the game, and we were smashing up our.
Oh man!
It was because we're just so.
It was the manner and the way we lost.
Yeah.
Because we played a team that was like so many leagues below us, and we were like an academy at the time. We were like training properly and stuff. And then the way we lost to them, we're just like, the thing is, we went into the game thinking that we were gonna win.
Yeah.
Like we just had like this arrogance about us, like thinking we were gonna win. It was gonna be so easy, and then we lost, and it was weird.
Quick question. Obviously, touching up on the Stevenage thing, when you said they didn't have you in their plans, and obviously you got released. How did you deal with that? Because I know there's a lot of people, especially at the age that you was then. You must have been, what, 19, 20?
Yeah, 19. Yeah.
Well, that's my career done now. So how did you deal with that?
Oh, I remember just like going back to it. Even now when I think about it, it was great. It was so weird how it happened. So when I got released, so obviously you have like meetings when you're about to like get your pro, and I remember having a meeting, and then they were like, "Listen, you've done so well this season, this, that, and the other. Like you went on loan early, and you done really well. You done what we said you should have done, hit your targets, etc." And then when they always start with the good, you're like, there's a but coming, and then they were like, "But we can't offer you a contract because we don't see you like in the first team." So I was like, fair enough. And at the time, I was devastated. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like where am I gonna go from here?" Do you know what I mean? But like the thing with me is, to even have got to Stevenage, I worked so hard to get there. And the thing that I always thought to myself is, even though I've been released, at least I was there. Like, at least I actually got there to say that I was there. And if I've been there, I can get there again.
Yeah.
Because I've already been there. So like, when I got released, I was devastated. Like, I was sad. But honestly, and this is not me even over exaggerating, I'd say after like three weeks, I was like, yeah, let's go. I was like, what are we doing next? Like, where are we going now? I was like, what's the point of me sitting around and like feeling sorry for myself after I've been released? Do you know what I mean? It's time for me now to like hit the ground running, because at the time as well, when I came out, I was like 19, about to turn 20. So I was starting to become like a young man. So I was like, there's no point in me wasting time. I'm not getting any younger. There's no point in me wasting time just sitting there thinking, oh, what if I did this and what if I did that? And the thing that threw me off a little bit that I didn't expect was going straight back into non-league. I thought I was going to get like another league club or a conference club. So that was a bit of a shocker for me. But the thing with me again was, I've been here non-league and I've gone up. So why can't I do it again? And that's what I feel like a lot of players lack. It's obviously easier said than done. But at the time I was like, there's no time for me just to be here just going, can I do it again? I knew I could do it. I was training hard every day. I was working hard. I was eating the right things. You know what I mean? And it was one of them where I had the first season when I came out of Stevenage, I didn't have a good season. Second year had an all right season, and then the third season is when I was at Royston, and I did so well. And that's what I mean. Like, I could have easily went first season didn't work, second season didn't work. let's just leave it now. I could have easily done it. I had loads of people around me who just quit football. They were like, this isn't for me anymore. I can't do it. But I always knew within, I was like, I can do this. And then first season done so well. And then obviously now I'm at Hartlepool. So it's just like, moral of the story is no matter how hard it gets, just keep going.
Yeah. I was going to ask you which advice you would have to someone that will go through this experience, but I think you just cover it in a way.
Yeah.
So in a thing, like you've been doing this for a while and I can see that you have a lot of experience. Tell us a funny thing that has happened in your past with a football team, like pranks. Do you remember anything that pops to your head the first time that I've
Give me a second, I might. I've had a couple of funny experiences. Oh, there's some I can't say. And then that will be after the call. Funny experiences. I'm trying to think. Oh, to be fair, there's been a time where like, so basically we played Tottenham in a FA Youth Cup game, and we got beat. Like the score was crazy. We got beat, and the next day we obviously come into training, and our youth team manager at the time was like to us, "Listen, the first team manager wants to talk to you lot up at the training ground." So we were like, "Okay, cool." But he was obviously like, "Listen, you all played like last night. Everyone's like tired, so don't worry. Like it's gonna be just chat. Then we're going straight back to the training ground, and then you can go home." So we were all just like, "Okay, cool." So some of us went up in our like runners, sliders. So we've gone up now to the training ground, and our manager's like, "How dare you not lose to Tottenham about like with that many goals, because we lost like a heavy defeat." So we were just like, "Oh, okay, like we're expecting that." And then he goes, "So for that, you lot are gonna get punished." And we were just like, we were looking at each other like, what? So he set out cones, like, and I can't explain how big the training ground is, but he set out like cones. And we've just played like a 90-minute game as well the day before. And we've just got ran the whole session. And all of the first team are like at the top of the hill, just watching us laughing. And we're just running and running and running for ages. And like, at the time, like we were all just devastated. But like now when we would talk about it, we just laugh. We just think like, how funny is that? Like, there was obviously like funnier moments and worse moments, but they're ones I couldn't say on here. Yeah.
Some of the stuff, like when we were at St. Neots, obviously for me that was like the first and only time of like kind of like proper football of training together. Some of the shit, like honestly at St. Neots, I think it was 2 years of, imagine every single lad in every school that did no work and just pissed about and was a joker, all put into
one team.
That was it. Like
literally, man. That like, was literally us.
We'd do training. We'll go back, and we become so close as well. So like,
oh, honestly,
a joke.
We became so tight as a group. Like I always say to people, like that's one of the best like changing rooms and team that I've ever had. And I don't even mean just as like training, us being on the pitch.
Yeah, and one of the funniest moments for me is, I think it was probably, it must have been halfway through the season when we were like really, really close and just pissed about so much. And there's one of the lads, I'm not going to say any names, so I don't need to, but there's one of the lads who's probably one of the bigger jokers, right? And we've just finished training and we've gone into the showers, and he's pissing all over one of the other lads in the showers, right? And it's just stuff like that, which you just look at and think,
oh, mate.
Why the fuck would you do that? Because it's just hilarious.
So much of that stuff happens. Like, I always say this to people, football, like, the change room's everything. Like, everything happens in the change room. Like, people don't realise, like, people hiding your stuff and people putting this. Like, I remember there was a time, like, someone hid my phone and they couldn't find it for, like, 2 days. And I was stressing out. And on the third day, you just find it, like, on your seat.
Deep heat on the boxers.
Oh my gosh.
Like that. And you just think...
I think no one realizes what really happens in the locker rooms. It's like, and it's funny that it doesn't get out this much from the locker rooms as well. This is something that it's amazing.
Mate, we're playing a game. Claudio knows exactly who I'm talking about, right? We're playing a game, and this corner kick, and obviously we're all man marking and stuff in for the corner, and one of our defenders is standing. You know when you're standing behind him and you're marking him, right? And he's prodding his finger up the other guy's bum, and obviously he's losing his head. He's thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's weird, isn't it? And the ref can't see anything. He's not actually doing anything.
Oh my god!
Stuff like that. I just look back and I think
it's ridiculous.
We're in a real game right now that actually, and you're just fingering some lad's bum.
Oh man, I had some funny moment. Like, I look back at things now, and I think at the time I was so angry, but now I look at it, I find it so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy it happened because you've actually got like memories to go off. Nah, I thought it was a funny game, man.
Brilliant.
It's not for everyone though.
And I imagine you have a lot of stories that you cannot tell us.
Oh, I'm telling you, I wish I could tell you some. I can even think of one now that happened recently, and I can't even say it. Like, right, there's one I'll tell you. So once we're at football now. This is I won't say what club actually, because obviously it might give it away. I'm at club, and one of the lads has got a new car, and they've got like a new they've got a new Corsa, and at the time it was like massive. Like, getting a Corsa for your first car as a scholar or a pro was massive. And they've got like this like Corsa, all blacked out Corsa, like pulled up to the training ground in the Corsa, buzzing like. And the thing is, he's let the lads know the day before that he's getting a new car. So all the lads are like buzzing, they're like, oh my god, like can't wait. So he comes up in the Corsa, and obviously all the lads come outside, they're like, hey, like so and so's pulled up in the car. Anyway, he's parked his car now. He's coming to the change room, just normal day, all training and stuff. And a couple of the boys were injured at the time. So when we're training, so I was training, they'd be in the gym, or they'd be like literally just chilling in the change room. They didn't really have much to do. So one of them's like, come in. We've all come in after training in the change room. One of them's whispered to me, I've shit on one of their cars. And I was like, no, you haven't. And he goes, I swear to you right now, go outside. Look at his car. I've shot on his car. So I'm literally walking out and it's one of them, I'm walking out there laughing because I know what I'm going to see. So I've gone, the thing is, he said, I've shot on someone's car. He didn't say the new Corsa. So I'm anyone's car. I've completely forgot there's even a Corsa at this point, like a new Corsa. Gone outside, I've looked around, I can't see it. Because I was looking at the other cars that were always in the car park. I've turned to my right near the entrance where there's a one spot left. And I've just seen a lot of shit on his bonnet. So I've gone back in.
Oh my god.
Back into the change room. And I've gone to one of my mates who I'm really close with at the time. And I was like, I'm not breaking it to him. So I've told my mate, I was like, someone so-and-so's car. So he's gone to the lad, mate, I'll be honest with you, someone shot on your car. So he's gone outside and looked at his car. Everyone's run outside. He's standing there like this with his hands on his head. Because if someone shot on your car, what do? Do you clean it? Do they clean it? Oh, that was one of the best stories. It's one of those stories you have to be there.
Yeah.
I can explain it to you so many times. Be there. Everyone was just laughing. But that was a good.
And how did they have a fight? Did they stay friends or?
You know what it was? After that, they obviously they fell out for a bit, but after that, it was a point where they were just doing pranks on each other.
Yeah.
There'd always be someone's shoe goes missing the next day, or something's happened to someone's kid. It was just always them two.
It's
but then,
that, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's always like that. Like at St. Neots, we'd deliberately have scraps with each other.
Oh, literally. It was just so funny, man.
In the classroom, we'd literally would you all just be like, oh, blah, 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 and blah, 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 and they just jump in and start fucking scrapping?
Yeah, they just start scrapping. But the thing with change rooms is, go on.
Afterwards, it's literally fine. Like, they'll have a little scrap, like, 15 seconds, they hate each other. And then one would be flawed or whatever, and they'll get up and they will just have a laugh about it.
Literally.
It's just funny that, imagine if this happened between two women. They would never
Oh my god.
It's forever.
They would never talk again, they're dead.
I'll tell you a story, right? So this was my last year at St. Neots. I think this was your first year at Stevenage, wasn't it, Claudio?
Yeah, it probably was, yeah.
Yeah, right? So there's a guy, I'm going to say his name because he probably isn't listening, right? His name's Bradley, right? And he was just someone that always just did stupid shit, right? And one day we're all out on the training ground, on the AstroTurf doing our session, and then we go back and shower and go and get food, and then we go back into our classroom ready for our lessons. And he was injured or he wasn't on the training pitch for whatever reason, right? We come back in and literally most of everyone's shit has been sellotaped to the wall. And all he's done this whole hour, including the teacher's laptop, all the boys' laptops have been sellotaped to the wall, with their mouse and keyboard to the wall, their football trainers, everything is just sellotaped to the wall, right? Now, it's so petty, but everyone lost their head, right? And it's just honestly one of the funniest things. Like, my shit didn't get sellotaped, so I'm all right. But watching everyone's reaction, walking in like, what the fuck, my laptop? Like, it's just stuff like that, which just goes, you never realise.
That banter, people don't get it. Like, people outside of football don't get that banter, but it's just funny. Cool. And you know,
you go
with stuff like that, yeah. And with stuff like that, like, let's say I play a prank on you, Filipe, and let's say for like 2 weeks, you know it's me and you going at each other.
Yeah.
If the boys are smart, they'll do something to you. And then you think it's me, and then it just carries on. It's so funny, man.
It gets worse and worse and worse. And then everyone puts it on. Like, you could say something, and then everyone start going crazy and be like, oh, did you hear about what Claudio said to you? And you're like, what? And then
Yeah. People were just spreading little things around the change rooms. And we used to always have, at Stevenage, we used to always like get like bags of ice, and we just have like a massive ice fight in the change room. And you just look back at it now, and we just think, what were we doing?
Oh, man.
Like, so funny.
It's fun. I'll tell you, like, one of the best phases of my life was when I played football, because being constantly around this banter, it's really funny. It's so worth it, allowing to have this in your life, even if you do get upset sometimes because it's on you. It creates amazing memories.
Very true.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think we covered most of it for today. I think we should invite you, Claudio, for a next one.
Invite me every day.
Because I think you have even more to give to us.
Definitely.
And yeah, I appreciate you taking time to have this chat with us.
No worries. I appreciate you lot as well. Thank you for having me, man.
Buddy. And hopefully we will have a chat again.
Definitely.
And start scoring goals, more goals. I want to see more goals.
I know. I've only scored 1 in 5 games. I need more.
Yeah.
More.
Stay safe, guys.
Wait, one sec.
Yeah, go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, one thing just to sum up for everyone, because obviously we'll probably have a lot of young people watching as well. One bit of advice for any young person that wants to chase their dreams, what do you have for them?
Yeah, good one.
I always use this quote: many imagine, only a few execute. And that's just basically based on everyone has a dream. It's just, will you execute? Will you get there? What do you need? Or what do you need to do in order to get there? And I always feel like young people benefit from this because they've got more time than older people. So the time that you've got, use it to your advantage, because time, you can't get it back. Time is borrowed. So try and do everything you can to achieve your dreams. And never think a dream's too big. It's not. Everything's possible.
Good man. Good way of ending it. Well done, Liam. Thank you, Claudio. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.